Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This hunk of man is my husband, Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey, the baseball player. And this is my wife, Cindy. And she takes pretty good care of herself.
The one thing I do is take Geritol every day to make sure I get enough iron and vitamins.
And we both get good, healthy exercise by following the Keep Fit America program recommended by the President's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports.
It's great, and it's free in every specially marked package of Geritol.
So keep fit with good, healthy exercise.
And take Geritol.
Come on in, Thurman.
What's the problem? I'm playing good ball.
You certainly are. In my opinion, Thurman Munson's the finest catcher in the game. The problem is you're not shaving.
I do shave. It must be my electric razor.
Maybe it's not your razor. It's your beard. It just lays there. Get it to stand up with Williams Electric Shave. The razor will shave closer and cleaner with less irritation.
I'm going to use electric shave. Then I'll be the best-looking catcher in the game. Well, one of the best.
Electric shave! Reach out, oh, with Ray and Steve. Reach out, with Ray and Steve. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the car. For the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. Play ball.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome to Reach Out with Ray and Steve. Of course, you know by now, if you've watched this at all, that this is the show where East meets West, where the Yankees meet the Dodgers, baseball meets music, and we all come together for community. All right, everybody, let's bring on our host, Ray and Steve. Come on in, gents.
Hey, Robbie, how you doing? You got that Dodger blue on every week after week. That is very consistent.
Hello.
And you know, and
Hello.
this has been a really good week for me personally, because I had a chance to hang out with a living legend, arguably the greatest pitcher that ever lived. I mean, I spent 2 days hanging out with none other than the great Sandy Koufax. So I'm still walking on air.
Wow, we're going to have to hear all about that. But before we get started, you know, we're live radio now here in Clearwater, Tampa Bay, and St. Petersburg. So we want to thank everybody that's listening in their cars now. Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, FM 106.1, and FM
104.3.
There we go there, Ray. This is your stomping grounds when you're not in New York,
Well,
right?
That's why I had to mention in 104.3. That's what I listen to when I'm in St. Petersburg.
That's right. So we want to thank Bobby behind the glass and Carmine, our fearless leader in New York. Bobby's in Florida. Robbie's in California.
Our fearless leader.
Well, he's a little fearful sometimes.
Yeah, maybe for the Cub Scouts, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Just throw.
Be
Carmine
nice
above
to
this.
Carmine.
I know. I gotta set him straight. We want to thank all the listeners out there. Robbie, tell us a little bit about yourself so people know, our new viewers out there and listeners.
Well, my name is Robbie Robinson. I am the keyboard player, music director, Hammond organist, conductor, arranger for Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and it's something I've been doing now for 44 years. And I'm actually getting ready to go on tour because tomorrow, literally tomorrow, I am going to England. We're playing a 10-day tour in England. And I'm here. You can see I'm working on my scores right now here.
Wow.
We are I'll be conducting the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra at Royal Albert Hall in London, which is going to be a great fun for me. A lot of
Will
fun.
you see the Queen? Will you see the Queen?
I can only get in if I mention your name, Ray. So will she let me in?
It's okay. It's okay. Just let her know. I'll give her a call over the weekend.
Okay, call her and let her know so they'll let me in
Yeah,
when I mention
throw
your
his
name.
name around. But this is amazing. You're going across the pond to be in England, to do what you do, to really perform music there for the people there in England.
I love going to England. I've been actually going to England. I've been with Frankie for 44 years, but I've been touring England since before I was with Frankie. I used to go over there with Buddy Greco, and we would play the Talk of the Town, which is one of the most iconic venues over there. But we've performed over there with the BBC Orchestra. We've performed over there with the London Symphony, and now we're working with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. And we're going to Liverpool, too, on this tour, which should be fun.
I've heard of Liverpool, right?
Yeah, but Paul's here. Paul's not at Liverpool right now. So,
But you know who is coming to our show that I was told?
Who?
Pete Best. Now, do you know the name Pete Best?
Wow, the part of the Beatle plan there. Yes.
He was the original drummer for the Beatles, and then he got let go right before they got big. And so I can only imagine his story, you know.
But you know what? The nice thing about Pete Best is that when the Beatles did that big album in like 97 or 98, he got over $1 million for that.
Wow, that's
so
great.
I thought that was very cool of the Beatles to take care of him.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. Well, this show, if you want to call in, please do. It's 727-441-3000. It's 727-441-3000. Our show is sports, entertainment, community, and we give it to you all in this 1 hour. So, Robbie, thank you for everything that you do. And Ray, tell our listeners out there, our new listeners, a little bit about yourself.
Listen, bottom line is I'm a Yankee. I'm sorry that I have to share my time with the Dodgers, but they are the second greatest iconic baseball team. Yeah, and somebody get some cough medicine for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't see your Yankee,
hard, Robbie.
You know, I know that we're on radio, but I don't see a Yankee hat. I don't see a Yankee jersey, a Yankee
Only
jacket.
Because this is the community segment of the show, so this hat is for Gio Urshela.
Okay.
It's Gio's hat, and one of the great community guys ever in baseball.
Well, that's
Gio
right.
is a great guy, and you know what? He'd look awfully good in Dodger blue over there.
Robbie, I'm not gonna. You are absolutely right. I would love to see him in the Dodgers.
I think I'm going to work on that.
I would love it because I would have him stay at your house. You would have to drive into the park and back and forth.
So, Robbie, have your people talk to his people, and we'll get it done.
We'll get it done. All right.
Then we get it done. But you know what? We are in Florida, and the Yankees are playing the Rays tonight.
Right.
They've already split the first two games, and now we're going to try. There's a standing. The Yankees are 50-18, and the Rays are 37-31. They're playing at the Trop. Bobby Rossi's at the Trop at that game.
Well, Harrison Rossi is at the game. His son.
Oh, okay.
You know, Bobby Rossi is probably the biggest entertainment publicity.
Promoter, venue operator. Producer. This guy is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, in the country. And the venue that he operates, Ruth Eckerd Hall, is one of the top 3 in the country that got polled this year, along with Radio City Music Hall and the Ryman Theater in Nashville.
That's right. Well, we have a pretty intense community segment today because, first of all, we have a therapist, counselor that's out of Minnesota. She has a program, an agency called So Connected. And last year, Ray and I do community work here in New York. And sometimes he knows as a psychologist, I can try to assist or empower, help people. So Ray gave me this referral. His name was Johnny. And Johnny and I talked briefly.
Johnny LaRosa.
Johnny and I talked briefly. And I knew
he was a Milwaukee Brewer then.
There we go. I knew that I could work with him, but there's someone out there that could really work with him and make a difference. So sometimes as a therapist, you got to know your limits. You got to know your role. You have to really support the person that you're working with. And I brought in, and I think she's on the line. I think she called into the studio in Florida, Stacy Goodrich, who's based out of Minnesota. Stacy, are you there?
I am. Hi, Steve.
Hi, say hello to Ray Negron and Robbie Robinson.
Hi, Ray.
Hey,
Hi,
guy.
Robbie. How are
Hey,
you guys?
Stacy.
Hi.
So, Stacy,
Robbie, I
you
haven't
have a
seen this
program
since
called So
Minnesota.
Connected. Talk about your work with Johnny and other athletes that you do.
Well, yeah. So Johnny and I have been working together for probably 5 or 6 months, and we got together because of you. And he basically got what do you call him? The yips.
Right.
He got a mental block with his pitching. He's a pitcher. And I've been working with him since then. And my work is basically understanding what's going on unconsciously to kind of, it's basically our mind and our body get disconnected.
Right.
And once there's a disconnect, then all kinds of things get between our mind and our body. Like, what if I don't strike him out? What if I walk him? What if I hit the batter? And so all these thoughts and ideas get in what I call in our A circle, and they are controlling our behavior. And that's what happened with Johnny. And now he's playing again, and he's doing really well, and I'm really excited about it.
So, Stacy, I know we have a little bit of time. What's the turning point that you had with Johnny, but also other athletes too, when you can really break it down for them and explain A circle real briefly, if you can?
Okay, so there's a technique I use. It's called A circle, and it gives people an experience of what NLP is, or neuro-linguistic programming. And everybody has what I call an A circle, a B circle, and a C circle. And there's no right or wrong way with how it's set up. It's a way for us to understand what's controlling us or what's running the show for us in any given situation. So whoever or whatever is in your A circle is who or what is making decisions for you, or who or what is running the show for us in that situation. The circle are people or things that support you to make a decision, or they can influence your decisions, but they're not making it for you. And C circle is everything else outside of that, or everything else that doesn't matter. And
So-
we can get lots of things in our A circle.
Stacy, did you ever have a scenario like this with, say, like a Robbie Robinson type, somebody in the music world, something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, Robbie, think about what would be in your A circle some of the time. What is making decisions for you? I mean, we can have people.
No,
Right?
it is fascinating, and how commonplace is this in all walks of life? It obviously in performance-oriented careers where you're talking about a sports, an athlete, a baseball player, or a musician, a performer. But is this how commonplace would you say this is in the general population?
Well, 100. All of us have a limiting belief or an idea about ourselves that is in our way of us being able to perform in our potential. And so if somebody has the physical capacity to do well or to perform a certain way, and they're not doing that, then there is some mental thought or energy, pressure, a limiting belief, something in their way to prevent them from being able to perform their best.
So, Stacy, we only have a few moments left, but talk about Johnny, his turning point, and what was the key moment where he really connected with you and you actually went to Montana to see him perform and pitch and his family. What was the turning point a couple months ago?
A couple months ago, I think what was really fascinating about Johnny is that he had a lot of ideas in his A circle. Once I taught him A circle, then he was able to understand how to deal with what was in his A circle, but then stay in his body through the pitch, if that makes sense. I teach a learning strategy. And for Johnny, being able to feel his way through the pitch, through the throw, and stay in his body basically through the release of the ball, gave him the ability to manage the movement of the ball. And so not only his fastball, but the slider. I remember there was a Pittsburgh coach that came to see him, and I said, what did he say? He said, well, he likes my slider, but there's too much movement. And I said, first of all, I realized that the coach didn't know how to teach him how to manage the movement of the slider. But what I said was, how are you managing the movement of the slider? And he said, by the way I release it, the way I hold it. I said, can you release the ball in a way to control the movement of the slider? And he said, yes. And so not only is he able to manage the fastball better, which he throws like a 97-mile-an-hour fastball,
Wow.
but he now can control, and he's a right-handed pitcher, and he's striking out lefties, which I'm really proud of.
Great.
Wow. And, Stacey, I just wanted to bring it on because, Ray Negron over here knows the La Rosa family, and he had enough faith in me to kind of start the ball rolling with Johnny.
Thank
And
you.
then you certainly
Thank
picked it up the last couple of months. I want to thank you for helping him because at that time, his confidence level was very, very low. Just look at this picture. I could tell that his confidence level is way higher now, and he has potential and a future where he feels really good about it.
Absolutely. He's got a great goal beyond the goal. He wants to get to the majors. He's ready. I'm not just coaching him to be prepared to get signed or to be in the majors. I want him to be successful there. And he's doing his job. He's staying in his body. And thank you guys so much for that connection, Steve.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thank
How
you,
can
Stacey.
people get a hold of you real quick, Stace?
I would, my company is so connected, so-connected.com. I have a group on Facebook called Athletes Who Settle for More. That's where people can really get a lot of more information about me. Join the group and then, connect with me through there and ask me questions. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Stacey.
Stacey.
Thank you for spending a few minutes here. And gentlemen, Stacey's doing great work. I mean, Ray, you're coaching, you're managing baseball now. It's all about young people because we can do a lot of things on our own, but it's really about the young people now. And on the baseball field, it doesn't get better than that sometimes, right?
Well, that's why let's get Harrison Rossi on.
Okay.
He's over at the Trop watching the Yankees play over there against the Rays. So let's get him on.
All right, Harrison, you there?
Hey, how you
There we
doing,
go.
guys?
Munson
Oh, yeah.
Disciples. So, Harrison, first of all, what's the score there at the Trop?
Honestly, I don't know. Right when I got on got backstage, the game started. So I'll
here
go
we
check it
go.
out in a second.
Okay, so tell us about your baseball career right now up until this point.
Okay, well, out of high school, I went to Chicago State in the south side of Chicago. D1, good team, great guys. We ended up getting our team actually shut down, though, by COVID. They canceled the whole program. So I went to Murray. Yeah, I went to Murray State in Oklahoma for a year. It was a junior college there, powerhouse junior college. Also great guys, great coaches. And then after junior college, I came back home to Florida, and now I'm playing Ave Maria in Naples.
Great.
And, now, interesting thing happened. Not really interesting, but it is interesting. Harrison plays for my team, the Munson Disciples, here in New York City during the summer, and it's a
Awesome.
powerhouse team of which Harrison for me is he's literally my best outfielder by far. He's my center fielder. And
Blush, Ray. You're making me blush.
The day before our first game, he had homered in an exhibition game. And then the next day, he actually, in his second at bat, he took a foul ball in the wickets. And he ended up getting an operation. And tell us a little bit about the pain that you went through, Harrison.
Oh man, I felt like I was dying. I somehow got in there for the next pitch, and may or may not have told the catcher throw anything. I'm swinging at whatever, and then I just walked right off the field right after. I was just so much pain. I got down on my knees and I was like, I got to get to the ER, and the doctor took care of me there. Yeah, for sure.
Wow. And he was in the operation room that night.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But you're up and running around now, I can see, huh, brother?
Yeah, so it's been a few weeks now. They took me off of bed rest, if I can say that. But yeah, no, I'm out. I'm at them now. I'm ready to get back to New York and start playing again.
I have a question for Harrison here.
Go ahead.
And this is a question for a player who plays under the management style of Mr. Ray Negron. Now, separate the team affiliation because I don't want to have that to. But is Ray more like Billy Martin or is he more like Tommy Lasorda?
You know what? So I'm gonna give Ray a mix of both. Okay, and I know that that's gonna sound crazy, but I would put him as far away as you could from a new style manager. So I'd put him in both categories. You know, he's really a kind of guy that knows talent very well. He can spot it out easily. He's gonna put the best nine out there, and if there's no politics in it, which is great, you know. And new coaches nowadays, you're not gonna get that. They're gonna play who they like. They're gonna play who they want to play. But you know, with Ray, it's all down to talent. He's like, I'm gonna put my best nine out there, and he just wants to win. And that's something Lasorda does, and that's something that Martin did too. So
yeah, but like Billy Martin, does he yell at his team and does he punch his players?
Oh yeah. Ray, I was only there for it. I was only there for a game, and it was like the second inning, and we were winning, and we had like it was something happened. I think it was like an error or something, and he grilled him. Let me just say that. He grilled the team real quick.
Hey, I want to show Harrison's first swings after the operation. Carmine, do you have that?
Oh no. Lefty, huh?
Nice
sir.
swing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, I'm very happy. I need that bat, and I need the outfielders as quickly as possible.
And for you young people out there, if you don't know what wickets is, just Google it. You'll find out what they are real fast. I know, Harrison, you know what the wickets are.
Oh,
so never forget.
I know now.
Well, all I know is they operated the left wicket.
That's right. They took care of it. I told him, save my buddy, and he did.
But Harrison, was it hard to leave the team? Because you look like you're a player. You just want to be out there playing baseball.
Yeah, it really was. It was a struggle to get down here again. It was very weird. I told my parents actually came up as soon as it happened. They were obviously worried, like any parent would be. And they were like, we're going to bring you home. And I was telling them, I was like, nope, no, you're not. I'm staying here. I'm going to be good to go in a few days. Like, you can ask Ray. He called me like 4 days later. He's like, come on.
Wow.
We need you back. And I was like, I know.
Well, listen, go and enjoy the game. And for the people out there, someday you're going to see this young man in the major leagues. Okay, I'm betting on him.
Oh, appreciate it, Ray. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for having me on.
Harrison. Take care. Have fun tonight. Go Yanks.
All right, go Yanks.
Disciples. Talk about the name of the team, Ray. How'd that come about?
I just wanted a name that meant something to me from the standpoint of how do you play the game. I didn't know any of these players, so I wanted to teach them the Thurman Munson style. You know, you play with heart, with soul, with desire. How bad do you want it? Okay, and that was Thurman Munson. And that's what I want. I wanted a new generation to understand the magnitude of who Munson was. And if you want to play for me, you play like Munson. If not, hey, go play for Steve Carroll.
Wow. Wow. See that,
But you haven't had to punch a player like the Billy Martin, Reggie Jackson stuff.
Not yet.
No. Co-host he does, but not players yet. But this is Reach Out here. We're on Tan Talk. If you want to join us, please do. 727-441-1000. We're here in Clearwater, Tampa Bay, and St. Petersburg. And fine young men, Johnny LaRosa, Harrison Rossi. I mean, these are people. Yes. I mean, over the years, you've probably seen so many baseball players and athletes grown up to be players, but also fine young men.
Well, in my house now, I have a young man who's 14 years old, and he's playing for the Hank Yanks organization in Connecticut. So I brought him in from Ohio.
Wow.
Because his father was the strength and fitness coach and masseuse for the Yankees during those world championship run in the 90s and 2000. Rohan Baishu, and his son's name is Kieran Baishu, a kid who's he's 6'2", almost 6'3". He's 14 years old.
Wow.
So I mean, and his daddy, where is it? Are you here backstage? Are they here?
They were here.
Yeah, come on. Where's your son? Bring him over here real quick. Let's go real quick.
Yeah,
Harry,
live streaming here. And
come here.
We have another young man. I'll step aside.
No, you stay right there.
There we go.
Hold on. Come on this way. This is Kieran. And
hey there.
Robbie Robinson is there. The great Robbie Robinson from Frankie Valley in the Four Seasons, and our co-host. So tell them why are you so excited about being in New York playing?
Well, because get a different mentality of baseball and get to, hang around right here and meet some new people and get more involved in the game of baseball.
Well, very good. Listen, just keep doing what you're doing, okay? Now get out. Okay.
Go practice your swing, huh?
Yeah, go practice your swing. He's a player. That kid is going to be. This is Rohan Beishu. He was the strength and fitness coach for the New York Yankees for several years. During those, he has how many World Series rings do you have?
I have 3 World Series championship ring and 2 league championship where we went to the World Series but did not win. That was 2001 and 2005 with the Astros.
Now you trained Roger Clemens. You worked closely with Clemens and with Pettit, and then you left with them to go to Houston. Why would you leave the Yankees to go to Houston?
Well,
come on, let's go.
Okay, Roger made me an offer. First of all, I couldn't refuse, and he really stressed. He said, "Bro, I need you, and all I need is you and a pitching coach, a good pitching coach, and I'm good." Wow. So he and I had a great relationship when we were the Yankees.
So you left the Yankees because Clemens offered you a lot more money.
Exactly, money, living conditions, free vehicles.
Robbie, I'm calling it like it is.
Hey,
right?
brother, yeah.
Since you
okay, I mean, I know the Yankees were probably paying you like $50,000 a year. And then the World Series money was like another, like at the time, $250,000.
Yeah, it was.
So you left $300,000 to go to Clemens. You're telling me that Clemens gave you almost $400,000.
And plus, he treated me well. He made sure.
Oh my God, I want to work for Roger Clemens.
I guess.
No, he's a great. He was one of my best guys. To this day, he is. Like one of my best person in all of baseball.
Plus, you were making money from Andy Pettit too.
Yes, I was making from the other guys.
Oh my God.
I was double dipping.
Yeah. Okay.
But this idea, and by the way, this idea of the fitness coach, that's all over baseball now, right? So how many fitness coaches are there? Is there one for every team, or are there multiple ones for every team?
No, multiples. There are about 3 or 4 on average on each team, and each organization is different. When I came on back in the late 90s, it was a strength coach, 2 athletic trainers, and maybe another assistant. So I was the 4th guy. It was just 4 of us on the Yankees.
And then Robbie, each player, if the guy's the magnitude of a Clemens or a Pett or someone, they have their own guys.
Yes.
I saw at the Dodger game the other day, Kershaw was pitching, and before the game, he was out there with his fitness coach, and they were going through all the routine.
Yeah. They feel comfortable with you. That's the other thing. They got to trust you. They got to feel comfortable and know that you'll give them results. So that's the bottom line, I guess.
I guess Babe Ruth never had a fitness coach, though.
No, back then there was.
Hey, honestly, to be honest with you, Babe Ruth did have a fitness coach.
Oh, really?
And you can look it up.
The hot dog vendor or what?
He was, he double dipped just like this guy here, but he really did. But you know what? Who's going to tell Babe Ruth what to do?
Yeah, that's true.
So we have a lot of Yankee fans out there that watch the show, reach out every week, and talk about Andy Pettit for a minute. I know you talk about Roger Clemens, but talk about Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit, okay. Andy Pettit is a great guy. He worked hard. He fed off we call him Rocket, right? So Rock. He fed off a Rock a lot, and the 2 of them did their workouts together. Andy he just wanted to improve. I mean, he was not Roger Clemens in terms of but he tried to take that next step once Clemens came to the Yankees in '99.
Right.
What is it that made Roger Clemens Roger Clemens? Is it his intensity, or is it his talent, or the combination?
Oh, it's all of the above. He was always. You could, I was his best buddy. You could come to me and ask him something, but after 5 o'clock on the night he's pitching, I refuse to make eye contact with him. He'll come over and try to talk to me sometimes, make light joke, but I want none of it.
Wow.
Mind you, I live at a guy's house for 5 years, right? So,
Clayton Kershaw has that same mentality. On game day, he does not talk to anybody. You never see him smile. On non-game days, he's just he's a happy guy,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Robbie, do musicians? I mean, I have always said that you guys are like the athletes from the standpoint of preparation, mental preparation, all that kind of stuff. Do you guys have like a fitness guy that comes in and works with you? Because I watch you, Robbie, and you are putting on a show, not just with your hands, but you're jumping up and down. I mean, for 2 hours, you are like nonstop.
No, we don't have any particular coaches like that. But it's like anything. You do it. One thing, a musician has a career that is longer than an athlete, so you have an opportunity to develop your own routines and all that kind of stuff. I remember when the Dodgers they were going to bring in a psychologist, Tommy Lasorda, and Jerry Royce told me this story, and so did Tommy John. And when those back in the 70s, and they said, we're going to bring in a psychologist. This was during the one of the playoff games. And so they had all the team congregate, and they brought in Don Rickles to talk to the team.
Some psychologist.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, anyway, bottom line is thank you very much for coming on.
Pleasure.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So much.
And Robbie, I'm going to ask him the question because I know a lot of our audience. I'm getting a lot of texts. Don't be shy. Here's another one. Another one over here that's saying, don't sell out. Okay, so I'm going to go there. Do you think that steroids made Clemens better, or did he not use steroids? What's the story? You would know.
Here's the thing. I met Clemens in spring training of 99, and our relationship lasts to this day. In my opinion, when he came to the Yankees, absolutely not. We bonded like within weeks. It took us about a month or so to really connect. And after that, absolutely not. Nothing happened.
All right. He would know.
Let me ask you one question at World Series thing with Piazza afterwards. Did
Okay.
you have a chance to talk to Rock at that time?
I'll tell you, his elder son, Kobe, he brushed him back he bow tied him with a pitch.
Uh-huh.
If his mother's in the batter's box, this guy's I rub something called Red Hot. This man relaxes. I rubbed that in his groin area. And one time El Duque said he wanted to try it. What a great
right.
playoff pitcher. We had to stop the game for him. He had to run to the bathroom. We had to get alcohol and rub it off for him.
Wow.
But Clemens keeps that on for free. This man is in a zone of his own.
Right.
I've trained boxers. I was a boxer myself.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
I can tell by your face.
Well, thank you very kindly. Yeah. So he's got the intensity of a fighter he doesn't spare any expenses, right? He doesn't. He watches video, everything he does. No shortcuts.
He's one of the greatest pitchers ever.
Yeah,
and it's just
absolutely.
Maybe
and
one
a
day I'll go to
champion.
the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
What a
Appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great work.
Cheers.
Great
Thank
work.
you.
Great work.
Anytime.
This is Tan Talk here on Reach Out. Please call in at 727-441-3000.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
It's all
Yeah.
about
Robbie,
baseball, young people,
right?
baseball, but also behind the scenes working with Robbie.
how do we
Clemens.
top that?
No, I don't know. I mean, Robbie, you must have some experiences recently that you could try to top something like that.
Well, we were talking to Stacy about, getting into your head of your performance and everything. And I'm going to tell you a story about Sandy Koufax, because I mentioned Sandy Koufax earlier. Sandy Koufax ended up having one of the greatest pitching runs ever in the history of baseball. And they said those 5 or 6 years that Sandy was pitching at his best, where he pitched 4 no-hitters in 4 years. He has more immaculate innings than anybody ever in the history game. I mean, he is legendary. And I had a chance to hang out with him for a couple of days, which was just fascinating for me because he was my favorite player. But do you realize when Sandy Koufax got started, and by the way, he's from Brooklyn, for those of you he got signed to the Brooklyn Dodgers, but his first few years, he had a wild arm. He could throw really, really, really fast, but he couldn't hit the side of a barn. And one time, Norm Sherry in a spring training game went out to Sandy and said, "Don't try to throw it so hard. Just let him hit it." And he did that, and from then on, he became Sandy Koufax, the legend.
Right, no doubt. One of the greatest pitchers ever. Absolutely.
And he's so humble and he's so reclusive. Dodgers did a statue of him this past Saturday, and I was invited to go to the event, and it was really special. That's Sandy and his wife. There's my wife Carla and I at Dodger Stadium, and that was and Thursday night we went to a Dodger gala, which we had another big Dodger fan that was the entertainment there.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's actually a friend of Ray's.
Really?
Yeah, big Dodger fan too.
Okay. All right.
There she is, Jennifer Lopez in her Dodger sequin jersey.
Wow. J-Lo, not bad. Not bad. You were hanging out with some really cool people.
Well, and there's Rick Monday.
Rick Monday, yes.
Do you know, by the way, I don't know if we talk about educating the fans. Rick Monday was part of one of the most patriotic moments in baseball history, and there's a picture of it.
Yes.
When two crazy fans jumped out on Dodger Stadium. But by the way, you don't even realize it there. You're looking at he was playing on the Cubs. This was 1976.
Right.
And they went out. They were going to burn the American flag in protest at center field. And Rick Monday, the center fielder for the Chicago Cubs, ran over there and grabbed it from them. And it's one of the most iconic patriotic moments in sports.
Absolutely. No one would do that now.
No doubt. Oh, yeah. You got Joe Torre.
Hey, there's a former manager of the Dodgers, too.
Yeah, I like that sound better.
Wasn't he on the Yankees for a while?
I really don't remember.
Just a little bit. Just four World Series there. But if you're listening out there on your radio, Robbie Robinson's reliving some recent memories here with Sandy Koufax and Rick Monday.
There's Robbie's nephew.
And different people in the Los Angeles Dodger organization. But, those are great times. I mean, hanging out at Dodger Stadium.
We might even have. Oh, and that guy is Jaime Hurin. He's been the baseball Spanish announcer for 64 years. He is in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Unreal.
Do we have a clip of that J-Lo performance? I did do some videos there.
All right, let's check it out.
8 million children's lives are touched by this foundation every year. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, a pat on the back.
Wow.
That was fun. Now, I guess ever since she broke up with A-Rod, maybe she's a Dodger fan, not a Yankee fan now, huh? Ray?
No, Robbie, is called pay to the order of.
And she's Jenny from the Bronx. You know that, right?
No Bronx resident does that unless you get paid to the order of.
I see. I had so much fun. That was my boyhood friend with Bob Plummer, who's from my hometown of Litchfield, Illinois. That's his wife, Donna, and I. And earlier it was Carla and Donna and Bob and I. And there we are, number 32 right above us, Dodger Stadium. Bob Plummer and I started on the Little League Dodgers in Litchfield, Illinois. And we both became rabid Dodger fans, 2,000 miles away from Los Angeles, 1,000 miles away from Brooklyn. And we are, to this day, both lifelong Dodger fans, but he took fandom to the nth degree because he became one of the owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
He's paying Jennifer Lopez. That's good.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Wow. To have a childhood friend be the owner of the Dodgers and you musically performing around the world with Frankie Valli, I mean, doesn't get better than that.
No.
That's definitely a blessing.
Incredible. It tells you there is a God.
Oh, there's your friend Ray. I mentioned Ray Negron, and he said, "Ray, tell Ray he still owes me that money."
Oh, there we go.
Robbie, you don't have to say that on the air, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I kid.
There we go.
There's another former Yankee. That's Charlie Steiner. He was an announcer for a while for the Yankees, but he's a brilliant announcer, and has been with the Dodgers now for many, many years.
So your love for the Dodgers, they're doing pretty good right now. I mean, not as good as the Yankees, but they're holding their own. And they had a couple of tough games. They had a couple of nights ago. They had a no-hitter going to late in the game, and I don't know what happened.
Till I think was it the ninth inning or eighth inning? I think it was the eighth inning. It got broken up. Yeah, that was a great game. The Dodgers are doing well. Mookie, though, they were all at that Jennifer Lopez party Thursday night. And, they were all decked out, too, the Dodgers. But Mookie was there partying. The next night, he scratched from the lineup, and now he's on the injured list. So I don't know what
he must have been
happened.
dancing with Jennifer.
I guess,
Wow. But, we have another guest that we got to bring on. We're going to get back to talking about Dodger baseball. But Honor, Empower, Assist, and Train Heat is the organization. And we have Gus there who runs that organization, a nonprofit organization there in Tampa. Gus, are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you, Steve? Great.
Good.
Gus, what's up? We miss you.
Gus.
I miss you guys.
Wow.
There we go.
Great.
There we go. So, Gus, tell our listeners and viewers out there, you're right in the Tampa area, what you do.
Yeah, we're 40 miles north of Tampa in Brooksville. We work with veterans and first responders that are suffering from PTSD.
Oh, great.
It's a horrible disease, and there's just not enough help out there for them. And we've been working with them now for 4 years. I've been involved with helping with PTSD for 7 years. First, I was with an organization that worked getting dogs together with veterans. And then I felt they needed to get more into civilian life. And we started the Veterans Heat Factory. And it's working so wonderful. And we don't charge a dime for it.
Wow. Fantastic.
So Gus, you're 501c3, and I'm sure you rely heavily on donations and support from the community. And, we look around what's going on in this world in Ukraine and things like that. Do you think that the veterans in your area or even abroad are getting the support that is needed? Or is a program like HEAT that really continue to have to make those efforts known to support these men and women?
There isn't enough support for them. I got into this because I felt that there was a void. You ever get into a situation because you feel like you can help out and then find out it's 10 times worse than you even thought it could be.
Right.
It is horrible. And what happens is, the VA says that they work with veterans and PTSD, and they do. But it's one of those things where you can service 100 people, but 1,000 need it. And what happens is these veterans, they start self-medicating themselves and drinking and using drugs because they can't sleep at night. They have anger. They feel detached from their family and friends. They feel like they don't belong. They got a lot of guilt inside of them for the things they saw and the things they did. And they just got to get it out of them. We've been very successful. It's all done on donations. You're right. All on donations.
And that's very hard. When everything's done on donations, you continue to have to have connections and network with the community and to empower people and to enlighten people of what's really going on. There's a gentleman that passed on about a year or so ago, Ken Fagan, that you were really good friends with. And my buddy over here, Ray Negron, is really good friends. And in turn, I was really good friends with Ken Fagan, who was a veteran that gave back to his country and to his family.
He fought countless missions as a fighter pilot during 2 wars. And, you talk about heroes, that word is used lightly, too lightly sometimes, because Kenny was really my hero because he fought for our country and he put his life at risk in many missions. And I miss him so much anyway. But
Gus, what's your thoughts about Ken Fagan?
And one of the most beautiful souls I have ever met. That man couldn't do enough for everybody. In his wheelchair, his last few months of life in his wheelchair, he's doing things that people that can walk wouldn't even do. And he just couldn't stop helping. It was unbelievable. Miss him terribly.
Well, Gus, your organization, Honor, Empower, Assist, and Train HEAT is so very much needed. How can people contact you or get a hold of you if they need further information or want to make a donation to you?
Well, they can go to it's the veteransheatfactory.com. There's a button there to donate.
Right.
The telephone number there is 352-651-7015. And I have to tell you something, since we last spoke, because of COVID, it kind of led us into a new direction. And that is now we're doing some virtual work with veterans, psychoeducational and all that kind of stuff throughout the country. People are calling us from out throughout the country. We wanted to do it for our town, but this is getting much bigger, and we need to get more people on board as far as help goes. And you can only go so far with volunteerism, and right now we're all volunteers. And but we're getting more. It's one of those things. I've always been in business to grow my business and all that, and growing this is kind of bittersweet because it's good that we're helping more and more people, but on the other hand, you don't want to see it. I'm on a school board here, and I see the ROTCs and the kids and all that. And boy, do I get mixed emotions when I see them being prepared for taking care of our country, and then seeing how some come back. Our government's got to step up to the plate more, and until they do, we will be doing it as long as we can.
Well, Gus, thank you so very much.
We will be in touch shortly, Gus.
Yes.
We
And
will be in touch.
we want to get you on this show to promote what you do. And
this is your home. You have a home here. And I know that you make nice pasta when I go down there, so I'll be waiting for them then.
Just give me 1 minute, because I got to acknowledge it once again that a couple of years ago when we were on the verge of just saying enough is enough, we can't handle anymore, you guys came down, you put on the play, and boy, did that carry us over a very dry spell. I will never forget you for it, and I love you so much for helping us keep our doors open.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. We love you a lot.
Gus, we love you so much. Thank you for coming on tonight. We'll see you shortly down the road, man.
God bless you for what you do, Gus.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Now Renee, we got Renee coming on.
Yeah, from the Christian Rivera Foundation.
Another war.
That's
Another
right.
war that we're dealing with. And go ahead, Steve, get her on.
Renee, why don't you come on here and say hello to our fans and listeners out in Florida. Thank you so very much for joining us here on Reach Out.
Thank you for having me. And
Rena Kilat.
It's Rena Cleo.
Rena, we apologize.
Rena. But listen, it's fine. I'll answer to Renee. I mean, I'm sure I've been called worse, so it's fine. So,
hey, tell us about Saturday. Tell us what happened Saturday.
Saturday was well. First of all, I feel like the odd man out because I'm the only one without a baseball cap. So while Robbie,
yes,
don't look.
Oh no!
There we go.
I'm a New Yorker. Sorry, this is where
we go.
Hey, I was wondering who the fans root for when they go down to when the Yankees go to Tampa, because there's so many Yankee fans in Tampa.
Yeah, it's same thing when you go to a Marlins game in Florida. It's just a stadium full of Yankees.
Yeah.
And I'm a New York girl that I relocated to Florida, so I love that this show touches on both. So it's great. So I feel like I'm home no matter what.
But we always get the last word. We give Robbie a little space, but then we always get the last word. That's how it goes.
Well, we'll see. The last time the Dodgers and the Yankees met in the World Series was 1981, a long time ago. But I remember who won that series.
It's
40
years ago, Robbie. 40 years ago.
Rena, tell us about Saturday, please.
So Saturday was amazing. It was energetic. It was electric. We had an incredible 5K. Who you see there is Jesselyn Silva. She is one of our warriors, and we're honoring her now. She is just a phenomenal 16-year-old who is now unfortunately affected and battling with DIPG.
A boxer, right? She wants to box.
She was more accomplished by the age of 12 than I think than most adults I know. I mean, she wrote a book called My Corner of the Ring. There was a documentary about her back when she was 11. She ranked #1 female boxer for over 2 years. And then, of course, until the diagnosis, and which obviously makes it really challenging for her to train. But I'm telling you, she is radiant. She is incredible. She's such a fighter. And we all pray, and I don't want to cry on the show right now, but She's something else. She really is. And it was the energy. The 5K was really successful. We raised gross 80,000.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we had I'm not sure, it was under 200 people, I think. But I'm not sure how many virtual walkers as well.
Wow.
So, but our goal is to raise anywhere between 400 and 500,000 this year to give to the doctors, Dr. Mark Suduane and Dr. Orrin Becker. They're Dr. Mark, because it's much easier to call him that than his last name is a little difficult. He's a top pediatric neurologist in the country. So we have an amazing team, and everyone's working so hard to try and save these kids. DIPG is a tumor of the nervous system, and it's really upsetting to even say this, but the median survival rate is about 1 year.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So once a child is diagnosed with it, it's extremely aggressive. John Rivera, who lost his son Christian, has made it his mission there's John.
Maria's miracle, like it.
Yeah, he has really made it his mission to try and bring awareness and funds to this. Oh, and that's my son with him right there.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it was a family affair. We were all there, and the support is beautiful. And there's a variety of symptoms. And these families are blindsided when they find out about this, because it really starts off as double vision, headaches, difficulty walking, not realizing that there is this silent killer, that's affecting the brain, and it's dramatic.
Yeah.
And Darlene Rodriguez from NBC. I mean, she's a major journalist in New York, Robbie.
Yes.
And she has given so much time and effort and has been right there with John Benji Rivera in trying so very hard to help, and
she's been incredible. She actually what we do through the foundation is we try to give them experiences. It's kind of like Make-A-Wish mixed with everything else you can imagine. So we just want to keep these kids really happy, for the time that we have them, and we're trying to prolong their lives and save them. So whatever it is that they want, and with her, obviously, so her favorite boxer is Gervonta Davis, and Darlene made that come true for Deslin. Yeah, so Deslin got to meet him. Also the Puerto Rican champ, Edgar Berlang. So she met with him. And Gio Ursula, you got the Gio hat on. He's been incredible. We have another warrior, Maria Quenster, who he's been really generous with his time, and so that we try to make them feel like
that's Gio.
Real, before we go further, we want to say goodbye to all our Floridian friends there, because the network is going to take over. We have a few more moments here on the live stream. Thank you, Clearwater. Thank you, St. Petersburg, and thank you, Tampa. We'll see you next week.
Pete, I love you, Florida. Thank you for
you.
supporting this show. And that's it.
Yeah. So, Rena, what's in store for the rest of 2022 in your efforts to help others and young people?
Well, we continue through. I'm on the executive board, and so we are making an effort to also do individual events and projects to try and continue to spread awareness and raise funds. But we do have our gala coming up. That's in November. It's not really coming out straight in the end of the year. And we have a boat ride flashback. We have a boat ride that we do every July, so that's our next event. The 5K is always takes a lot of energy because it really is a very successful event for us. So we're just coming out of that, and just different fundraising efforts that we can think of, trying to spread the word, let people know about this. It's unfortunately people don't know about it. It's and it affects actually between 200 and 300 children are diagnosed with this every year. So it's out there, and people don't really know enough about it. So we just have to spread the word.
What's Pulse?
Oh, so Pulse is my company. I'm the broker and owner of Pulse International Realty. And it's full service brokerages, and I have offices in New York and in Miami, and we service all of South Florida.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's part of my team.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
And Robbie, I'm going to ask you a favor that at one point during your tour, that you could possibly dedicate a song to this organization.
Absolutely. We will do it.
And when you do it, we'll let the world know, and more so, we'll let that young lady know who's fighting for her life. And I think that'd be
thank you. Oh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so
Rena.
much.
How can people get a hold of you? We're just about out of time. How can people contact you or offer your support?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they can, in terms of donations, ChristianRiveraFoundation.org, there's a donation button. If you'd like to contact me for my company website is pulseinternationalrealty.com or 855-PULSE-01. So, and it's pulse like your heart. So we always make sure to pay it forward and get involved and try and save lives, not while we're selling real estate.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Well, thank you so
Thank
very
you,
much.
darling.
God
Appreciate
bless
it. We
you.
love that whole organization. You know that. So
Thank you so much. We'll see you real down the road. And
thanks, guys.
Robbie, I mean, amazing people doing amazing things, helping others, right?
And that's what it's all about, you know. And there were so many people paying it forward that we witnessed on this show today. It's really great. I love to see that. And
That's right. That's right.
Great inspiration for everybody.
That's right. Well, you have a safe trip across the pond.
I'm nervous how we're going to do next week's show. You know,
we're going to have to go to Liverpool.
Do they have? Yeah. Why don't you come on? Do they have internet in England? I don't even know.
You're gonna find out.
We will find out very soon, Roberto.
Find out.
Yeah.
We'll have a safe trip. God bless, and we'll see you next week, Robbie.
All right. See you guys.
One way or another, we'll see you.
By the way, thank you for being my guest on Jam and Java Monday night, Ray Negron.
Loved it.
There we go.
Even though my man had his feet over my shoulder.
I know.
All right. We'll see you down the road, guys. Take care.
See ya.